The first fight on the entire card of UFC 300 is Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. I plan on making a prediction and breakdown for all 13 of these fights, I believe, unless they add a new one. But there is 13 fights now. Hopefully there isn't going to be any pullouts or anything like that, because I think I have like the days like perfectly aligned to where it will lead up directly to UFC 300 if I do like one every day for like a week or like for 4 days a week. But anyways, I'm going to give you a prediction and breakdown of this fight. Most of the fights on this card, or I think pretty much all of them, are worth at least a little bit of a breakdown, so I'll do that anyways. But for this fight, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt, a pretty big fight in this division. It's kind of like a real tell of where Cody Garbrandt will kind of be in the rest of his career. 'Cause I'm going to be honest, this is Cody Garbrandt's really last chance to kind of prove himself as a potential top contender in the bantamweight division. He's been fighting some lower level opponents. Like he lost to Kai France at Flyweight. He was supposed to fight like Ronnie Yaya or something for like a year, which would have been a really good matchup for him, and then just ended up not happening. And then I think he pulled out. Did he pull out the Julio Ars fight? No, Ars did. And then I think he pulled out of the Batista fight, which I think was probably the right decision there. I think Batista was a lot better than him. But that Trevin Jones fight did not look too great. Brian Kelleher, that fight looked a little bit better, because I don't think Brian Kelleher really had too much to offer on the feet against him, or at least at this point in his career. Trevin Jones at least had like the power to where it kept Cody Garbrandt honest in the later rounds of that fight. But for this one, again, Cody Garbrandt, if he loses, I don't know where he goes. Does he just stay at the bottom trying to get those knockouts, or get easier contenders like a slower build, or they're just going to beat him like a really good contender and kind of just build their name off of him, because he's 32 years of age, so he can kind of make a little bit of a run here. Even though bantamweights, they kind of like their drop off compared to other divisions is a lot sooner. So like at 32, at 33, you'll start to see that drop off in the division, at least in skill. You see that with pretty much most of the champions there. I know Piotr Jan just won, but we'll see how he does after that. But for this fight, I am going to go with Deiveson Figueiredo, but we'll see. Cody Garbrandt definitely has a decent chance at winning this. If Cody Garbrandt wins this, I think he's definitely got his touch back for sure. And the way you see how their last fights went, you can kind of see how that goes, because Deiveson Figueiredo just beat Rob Font, who I think is, at this point, a little bit cleaner on the feet than Cody Garbrandt. Their chins, both of their chins are not the best. Like, let's be real. I think Deiveson Figueiredo mostly won that fight because of Rob Font's chin just not being the best either. And Deiveson Figueiredo, I will say, did slow down towards the end of that fight, and you saw Rob Font go for the clinch, and even Figueiredo relied on his wrestling, which he won't be able to do in this fight, because Cody Garbrandt has really good wrestling as well. Same thing for Cody Garbrandt. He can't rely on his wrestling, kind of like how he did against Trevin Jones, to eke out a win here. It's just not possible. This fight's going to end up on the feet, so I do see a potential KO from either side. But again, if Cody Garbrandt wins this, you're going to see a big step forward in his game. What I saw in the Brian Kelleher fight was that he just didn't move his head much. I don't know if he just didn't really have too much respect for Brian Kelleher in that fight or anything like that. But the thing that caught Rob Font off guard was when he went forward. Deiveson Figueiredo, especially in the early rounds, I'm going to talk about the first round. He threw stuff down the middle super fast and with a lot of power, and it just kept Rob Font super honest, was like backing him up, wobbled him a little bit. I think Cody Garbrandt can take a couple punches. However, I think the power of Figueiredo will definitely add up. And I can just see Figueiredo just winning the first couple rounds, though. But it is going to be a lot more interesting because, again, Figgy can't rely on his wrestling like he did against Rob Font, because Rob Font just has horrible defensive wrestling. You can't rely on that with him just to tire him out. And even Deiveson Figueiredo doing all that work in the wrestling in that fight definitely tired out a little bit. So this is definitely a very interesting fight. Cody Garbrandt can definitely win. Again, like I said, we're going to have to see a little bit more from him. He's definitely going to have to, I won't say evolve, but he kind of has like a more focused striking game this time. So if he gets more head movement in there, I won't say like the Dominic Cruz fight, because again, he did get outlanded, but he just had the more power that hurt Dominic Cruz in that fight. If he's able to up his head movement and kind of avoid some of those bigger strikes down the middle from Deiveson Figueiredo, because what we'll see from Figueiredo is like one shot, move around, circle, one shot, move around. Cody Garbrandt's going to punch. He's going to set his stuff up and then throw in combinations. What he did against, what's his name? Jesus, Brian Kelleher, is that he kind of punched and then he would just drive forward and do those punches, which we have seen from Cody Garbrandt before in his career, and he does again throw in combinations. However, I think just Deiveson Figueiredo, if he tries to do that against Deiveson, he's going to get something down the middle. I think he's going to keep Cody Garbrandt at bay in this fight. I can see him dropping him early. Maybe Cody Garbrandt kind of rallies in the second and third round and kind of ekes out like a 29-28 split decision win here. But I can see a potential KO from Deiveson Figueiredo. I can see a potential KO from Cody Garbrandt because remember, Figueiredo is 36 years of age. Didn't look too great in his last fight. He did have some chin issues at flyweight towards the end of his stint there because of the weight cut, is my guess. But I do think Figueiredo probably ekes out like a good decision win here. If not, he probably finishes Cody Garbrandt in like the second or third round, just from the power and just catching Cody Garbrandt kind of coming forward and just hitting him with a straight shot right down the pipe. But again, I think this fight could go either way. Again, I'm going to go with Deiveson Figueiredo here, but Cody Garbrandt, if he's gonna evolve a little bit and get some more of that head movement going, avoid some of those shots down the middle from Deiveson Figueiredo, I think he can really have a really good chance at winning this fight. And I think you'll see him move up to the rankings a little bit more. But again, pretty big test for Cody Garbrandt. We'll see how he does in this fight. If he wins this fight, I mean, I don't see another reason why he's not back, is what his fans will say, because he did beat Brian Kelleher and people were like, oh, he's back. This is like the true test because Deiveson Figueiredo is a very tough matchup here. But I'm going to go with Figueiredo. I'm going to say 29-28 decision. If not, I can see another way of Figueiredo like TKOing him in like the second or third round. I think in the first round we'll just see Cody get dropped. Hopefully he doesn't start, like once he gets hit pretty hard, he doesn't just start going crazy. But again, the head movement's not there. There were times where I was a little bit worried that Brian Kelleher could just like unload a couple strikes against Cody's chin and just hurt him very badly, but it didn't end up happening. Cody Garbrandt is just levels above Brian Kelleher at this point, but I'm going to figure it out. Either 29-28 decision where it's a little bit closer, or I'm going to go Deiveson Figueiredo like a third round TKO. So that's what I have for this fight. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys